I have this dream that I'm ministering in England, and I'm in this hospital, and I have my hands on this old woman in a coma, and I have my hands on her like this. And then her son comes in, and that's all I remember. So I woke up from the dream, thank God, and I wrote the dream down, dated it, didn't think anything of it. I thought, okay, well, maybe one day. So about a year later, we get an invite to go to England. I even forgot the dream. Okay. So we're ministering in Leeds, and the pastor says, listen, you're here a few more days. Would you be open to going to this little town called Ashington? I said, sure, let's do it. And he said, there's a church up there. They want to host you. It's a God thing. I said, okay. So we went and ministered. I prayed for this guy. He had a walker. He was an older gentleman. And I took the walker away. I said, walk. And he walked and screamed and he was healed. And so the whole place is screaming and I've got jet lag.
Yeah.
So I turned to the pastor. I said, you close the service. I got to go sit down. My head is scrambled eggs. So I go in the back, I sit by my book table and I sit down. So out the door walks this older gal and she says, hello. And I said, hi, how are you? And she says, you remember me? And I said, no. And then out behind her is her son. And her son said, hey, you remember us? And I said, no. I said, have you been to America to our meeting? And they said, he doesn't remember us. And I said, sir, there's no way I can remember you. I've been in way over 1,000 churches. How could I remember you? He looks at his mom. He's totally offended. He said, a year ago, he said, my mother was dying in a coma, and I went after hours to visit her, and I walked into her room, and you had your hands on her like this, and you were praying for her.
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, my eyes started tearing up. And he said, yeah, I walked in, and as soon as I walked up to you, you preached the gospel to me. I got saved, and you told me to go get you a Coca-Cola. And he said, I walked out of the room realizing I left my wallet in the room. So I walked back in, and you were gone. Where'd you go? But it was a dream, Cheryl. It was a
No,
dream.
here's the
It was,
thing. Here's the
I
thing.
was translated.
That's right. You know what? Our spirit never sleeps.
Come
Amen.
on, come
Our
on.
spirit doesn't sleep. I said I'm lopping off heads of snakes in my in sleep because our
Yes,
body needs to rest, but our
yes.
spirit never sleeps. He never sleeps, he never slumbers. And if he needs to
Hallelujah.
use you to do something in another part of the world, he can do it, folks. Come on.
Amen. It's
Paul
happened to me
said, whether
twice.
in the body or not.
That's right. And in fact, he
Love it.
said, I'm with you in spirit. He said, my spirit is with you and I'll judge you. That's what
Come
he said
on.
to the Corinthians.
Yeah.